going to be talking about why my favourite superhero is probably the Hulk. And to kick things off in glorious style, we've got probably one of the best toys of all time. It was released to coincide with the Incredible Hulk Edward Norton movie, and you think, oh, it's just a little figure of the Hulk there, which is always cool. But if you open his back here, it's got a little Bruce Banner figure, or David Banner figure, we'll get to that in a second, but let's put him there. You haven't made him very well, his arm's a bit funny, but never mind, eh? You get what you pay for, which I paid quite a bit for. Put the back of the Hulk on. And standing by this VHS of the very last Hulk film to get released on VHS. I don't know, thinking about it, like the origins of why I kind of like the Hulk, there's probably 2 or 3 reasons. And like I said about the colour green, I've always liked the colour green, and even when I spoke to my sister recently, she said, oh, I know you've always liked the colour green. And I was on this course about a year ago, and there was like a load, and when they did these icebreaker exercises, you had to pick a colour out of a box, and you know, like you had to just write all your history and all these different things. And this woman said, oh, I noticed you always pick the colour green, and I've got green on my glasses and things like that. And when I brought this camera, it was a green camera. I thought it was like pretty cool and stuff. And then, always been like a skinny, wimpy kid, I always thought, oh, wouldn't it be great if you could sort of turn to the Hulk and things like that. And since, you know, a little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing, but people I've looked up to for being like quite big built guys, like Lou Ferrigno, found out that he's got like hearing problems, and so he built up to give himself more confidence. And even something like Kane Hodder, you see him in like the Friday 13th movies as Jason, he's this huge guy. And then you find out, like, really, listening to the audiobook of his life story, didn't realise that he got picked on at school and stuff like that. You know, so it's like, you know, these people that I thought never had no problems or anything like that, that, you know, these big built guys and everything. But like I say, I guess it's kind of like the 6 of one, half dozen of another thing. But when I was trying to think who my favourite superhero is, and of course some of the obvious ones are like Batman, Superman, I mean, you know, the icons, and I still love those characters. But there's something about the Hulk, and some of the reasons I'm going to go into now, and one of them is like the best disguises of all time. If you think a lot of superheroes, you know, they wear a costume or they might change their voice or something like that. But if you saw the Hulk walking down the street, which would be pretty cool to be honest, and then a few minutes later you saw Bruce Banner, you would never in a million years think they were the same person. And I think that's just something, and I know it was a kind of complete fluke that sort of, that was a part of the character and part of the mythos of the Hulk, but I thought that was pretty good. And then talking about like the Hulk being one of my favourite comic book characters of all time, this is one of my favourite comic book movies of all time. Don't make me angry, you won't like me when I'm angry. It's not my joke, but I think this is one of them comic book movies that it seems to rub people up the wrong way for some reason, and I don't know why. Because it just is up there, the same calibre to me as like The Dark Knight and Superman the movie, all those really great comic book films. I really do think there's so much going for it. They treated the concept with respect, and the look of the film and just the general tone of it and everything. I thought that was pretty cool. But saying about like the origins of me getting into the Hulk, like growing up in like the late 70s, early 80s, the Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno TV series was massive, and it was like everywhere. And I'm rubbish at figuring out where people fall into a family tree, but my
mum's brother's daughter, I went to see my mum's brother's wife, and because after my mum's brother passed away,
her daughter brought me a little corgi Hulk bike. And there's this like modern tradition with superheroes where no matter who the superhero is, you can get a toy of them riding a motorbike. It's just this universal truth. And that was like such an iconic memory to me. I must have been 6 or 7 at the time, and I just thought it was like the coolest thing ever. And then one of those things where another thing that was like a really iconic memory, and now this stuff's everywhere with like Batman vs Superman, Justice League, and the Avengers and all this kind of stuff. But one of my first exposures to the Daredevil character was in Trial of the Incredible Hulk. He was Bruce Banner's lawyer, and like so it was this like crossover thing, and I thought it was cool. And one thing about the Hulk as well, it's actually perfectly personified in this toy here. I'm almost, kind of almost unintentionally, I wore the purple t-shirt on purpose. But the little figure here of Bruce Banner is wearing a purple t-shirt and blue trousers. And then when you look at him as the Hulk, he's got purple pants on, or purple trousers, or purple underpants even. But I don't think I've ever seen anybody wear purple trousers or purple pants in real life, so that's always a kind of a funny thing. And to talk about this version of the Hulk and the TV version, Lou Ferrigno still does the voice of the Hulk in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Just quickly go through some of these things what I've got here. This is some Top Trumps cards that I got. And the Abomination is one of the cards. When I very first got these Top Trump cards though, I don't think I could recognise that half the characters in here. But since all these Marvel and DC movies, now it's like a lot of these more comic book characters are getting more and more familiar. This was kind of funny though as well. I brought this Scorpion King 4 because it's got Lou Ferrigno front and centre on the box, first name. And not unless I had like some episode when I was watching it, I think it's literally only in it for like about a minute, so if anybody's going to buy this for Lou Ferrigno, you have been warned. I got this from a charity shop. This is cool. Just for the artwork there, you've got Bruce Banner and James the Hulk, little glasses for wearing follow there. This was worth getting just for the Super Bowl trailer that was on here. It's the pilot version of the 70s TV show. I once got an email from Kenneth Johnson, the writer-director. It was about Short Circuit 2, but still Kent's right. This is some Game Station magazine with Sonic on the front. Don't know what year it's actually from, but it's got an advert for the Incredible Hulk on the back, so I guess it ties it in with the Edward Norton film, whenever that was when that came out. Was that like, when was that? The Alzheimer's kicking in. The DVD of Ang Lee's The Hulk. There's the cinema ticket there. £5.30 in 2003 for go see a film. I went to see a film at the Odeon about 2 weeks ago. It was 30p cheaper. How about that for inflation? Oh, when I got this as well, this is one for the books. I was actually a staff member at HMV, 30% discount, and it came with this comic, Return of the Monsters. Still, looks like it's never been read. I wonder why that is. Oh, and actually, I'll save those till last because they are pretty cool. This is from a calendar. Ooh, lenticular. Can you believe that? Ooh, it's pretty cool. You can do the... Are you allowed to do that anymore? It's a lot bigger than I was expecting. The usual always embarrassing to see these, not the actual content, but newspaper cuttings out the Sun newspaper. I didn't buy it, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So they had Hulk Week. What was on the TV? Monday the 23rd of June 2003. 40 Towers in Tonight with Trevor McDonald. And why Netflix is taken off. There's 8 pages of the best page 3 girls ever, and also Hulk Week. That's pretty good. I'm sure you get the idea there. Empire, the incredible, the world's first fully 3D cover. It's not quite as 3D as it once was, as it's got 20 years worth of Empires weighing it down, but it's still pretty cool item. I remember that being in the poster to the last video. The poster for this was in the doorway to the last video shop that was in town. And yeah, save the best collectible till last. I'm not sure how old these are, but I don't think they're as old as I would think. I think they're from about like when the Ang Lee Hulk was released. But here's some toy candy cigarettes for the children.
These are very popular cigarette with the children. You know what this is in here? You know what this is? It's a federal tax stamp. You can't beat that. You can't get no cleaner than that. Talk to me. Tell me something.
That's a popular toy that doesn't age this collection or me in any way whatsoever, and I'm sticking to it. But thanks for watching and keep it locked.